Hello, Princess, and good evening, good slightly rainy evening from Disney Springs. I am back for more flavors of Florida. I have two things in mind, or at least on the plan, but the plan is flexible. I do have backups for both. Depends on the crowds. It doesn't look too bad today because of the rain, so hopefully won't have a problem, but, well, that's why I have a backup plan. But first, I can head over to World of Disney to see if they have any worthwhile little keychain pucks, or no, keychain holders for the Magic Band puck. They did not have a whole lot at the last place I looked. Don't remember where that was, and I remember thinking, well, let's check World of Disney first. So let's check World of Disney first. Wow, that did not come out well at all. So that is where we are headed right now. It was definitely a possibility that I went in knowing that they would not have the puck holders here at World of Disney. So it is now time to head over to Pin Traders, which, yeah, was my second stop. Forgot to mention that. So, all right, let's head over there and see what they got at Pin Traders. And the selection of, they are apparently called Magic Keepers, is as disappointingly small as it was at Magic Kingdom. I was in the Emporium where I found them last. All right, I may have to, I don't know, seek an alternative because, I don't know, these just aren't, well, actually, you know what? The blue one is a possibility. They only had the black one at the Emporium, so I'll think about it. Unfortunately, that part of the mission did not go so well, but we are on to stage 2, to the first dining location for the evening. I won't let you know what it is until I actually sit down, because I don't even know what it is right now, but I am hopeful. Anyway, today, whatever, I feel like talking about something that got me here, and that's decision making. Yeah, well, yeah, unfortunately, due to the overcomplication of life, we are flooded with decisions every day, and particularly for what I do in software, it's just a constant stream of decisions. And while today we're not going to talk about how to make a decision, what I want to let you know is that sometimes the most important thing, in fact, usually the most important thing, is just making a decision. Right, wrong, indifferent. Sometimes, most of the time, the most important thing is to just make a decision and be able to move forward from it. The reason is, well, there's two. Making decisions is very stressful. Remember we talked about choice crisis not too long ago? That's a very stressful situation. I know it is for me. And when I'm faced with that kind of decision-making process, it's not particularly enjoyable. And that happens many, many times a day. It happened before I came here, in deciding what I wanted to do, deciding what I wanted to try, what the backup plan would be. And yeah, so I eventually just had to make a decision, because I could sit around and stress over it all afternoon and labor over it, and I sometimes do, especially over food. But ultimately, the most important thing was to just make a decision, right, wrong, or indifferent, and come and try to get it. Otherwise, I would still be sitting back at my place going over menus and schedules and reservations and, I don't know, seeing what the possibilities were. And, well, that would just lead to an endless stress loop, and wasn't a great thing. So in this case, just making a decision, right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't know, I might not like what I have, is the most important thing, because it ended the stress. I have a plan now, and I'm just going to try and execute it, not really have to think about it anymore. And yeah, whether or not it works out, I actually don't know, and really I care, but in this case, that's not really the most important thing. Just making the decision was the most important thing to get me here. Here I am at Jock Lindsey's Hangar Bar for the one item they have on the Flavors of Florida menu, and I'm on the list, shouldn't be too long. Seated in Jock Lindsey's, and I made my order. A bit of confusion about the specific name of the menu item, but it was very quickly resolved and hopefully is on the way. It's been a while since I've been in here, and that's too bad. Very, very nice. These are the Florida shrimp tacos with watermelon salsa. They are jerk-spiced shrimp served with a grilled corn tortilla with watermelon pico de gallo. All right, it's a bar bite, so it is small, not really a full meal, but that's okay. Shrimp tacos, very tasty, a great dish. The watermelon pico de gallo worked really, really well. It was a very authentic creation, perfect for a waterfront bar, even though it was not sitting on the water. So yes, a typically Florida thing, and actually, you know what? More authentic than I would expect for a place like this. Again, weird way to put it, but yeah, very, very good. So we are now off to selection number 2. But first, let me tell you about the cookies and the cake that I got at Gideon's the other day. The cookies are really good. They're just good Gideon's cookies. Key lime flavor, so it works well. But the cake, much better. Well, not much better. It's better of the two, and that is really enjoyable. Wasn't trying to be a key lime pie, just basically inspired by key lime. I very much am enjoying it. I'm still eating it because they're huge. I actually like that a lot better than the velvet cake I got last time. So yes, a win for Gideon's. Definitely on the cake, but the cookies were pretty good too. Not today, but Paradiso 37 may very well be my next stop on the Flavors of Florida adventure. Never had a reason to dine here, sit here, drink here, or anything. So now they're giving me a reason. So I think it's their turn, and I will be back for one of these eventually. Well, eventually meaning pretty soon. Unfortunately, the inability to just make a decision is one of the reasons why, well, one of the primary reasons, a significant contributor, I don't know, however you want to put it, however, I'll put it now or later. Well, anyway, it's a reason why government is always dysfunctional. And yes, I said always. We'll get to that later. And it's because these bureaucrats, through just a lack of life experience, knowledge, lack of competence, really, just can't make a decision. They get so bound up in the bureaucracy that, well, everything just kind of grinds to a halt. Nothing ever happens. And when they finally do, I don't even want to say make a decision, are usually forced into a decision, maybe through committee or external circumstances or something, it ends up just being kind of just some random path, which has almost nothing to do with the original problem that, well, they maybe were trying to address. Not even problem, just situation they were trying to address. And one of the things that we can see happening is they're so afraid of being wrong, of being blamed, of their stupidity and incompetence being exposed that, well, they just let it go. And, you know, they just have to realize that, well, their stupidity and incompetence is going to be exposed anyway, because it always is. So don't worry about it. Just make a decision and go with it. I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong. You know, it probably won't be right, but if it's wrong, at least you can learn from it. That means you'd always be learning, which means you be less stupid. Try that. Just make a decision and learn from it, please. Now that Port Orleans has an opening date, hopefully that means the return of one of the nicest, most relaxing boat rides at Walt Disney World will follow soon after. That's from here at Disney Springs over to the Port Orleans and actually Old Key West resorts. This stop is House of Blues, where they have an unusual, well, it's not an unusual selection for something like this, but I would not have expected it here. Reservations only for the dining room, but no problem because the bar is open seating and there were plenty of seats. So I put my order in and it should be here very shortly because I guess the kitchen is very, very close. Here at House of Blues, they have key lime pie. Key lime pie filling layered on a graham cracker crust topped with toasted coconut. All right, it is key lime on graham cracker, so that's already points in its favor. Let's give her a whirl. That was a right good key lime pie, well within the really good band for all of the categories: texture, presentation, crust, of course. Now, I will say that it was a bit on the tart side, but still well within acceptable parameters, and that's kind of chef's choice. And I did appreciate that, actually, because I think I've been commenting, a lot of the key lime pies I've been getting lately have been on the subtle side, the too subtle side. Not really key lime pies, But this definitely was a key lime pie and served on a graham cracker crust, which, yes, definitely a winner. And also the toasted coconut, a wonderful addition. I've seen that before, and it does add something extra tropical to the dish. So I did enjoy that very much. All right, I still need to get a few steps, so I think I'm gonna walk to the other end of the Springs, and I will finish up. I might stop into one other store. We'll see. Walking up this bridge always brings back a lot of memories. Maybe sometime I'll tell you about the pleasure island that I remember, or try to remember, actually, sometimes, if I can. In the last 2 weeks, I've seen 3 people wearing rompers. Are they back again? At the other end of the Springs is Goofy's Candy Company, a store which I cannot say for sure I've ever been inside. But they do have some flavors of Florida, so let's check it out. I might try at some point the key lime cupcake or the strawberry cupcake, although this one I saw elsewhere, I think in Animal Kingdom. When reading the description, I thought it was a combination of key lime and strawberry, but no, it's actually 2 separate ones. That might have been my first trip into Goofy's Candy Company ever, although probably not. I just wouldn't remember it because there's nothing in there that I would really buy. Okay, not a problem. Just they're not really for me. Oh, and the cupcakes, yes, I definitely have seen them before, so nothing really unique there. Anyway, as for decisions, one of the reasons that it is so important to just make a decision, like I said, right, wrong, or indifferent, is because most decisions that we make on a daily basis are kind of inconsequential, or the consequences are so benign that even if you make the wrong decision, it's probably not going to matter, or it's easy to deal with. A great example is just choosing where to go or what to have for dinner or what park to go to. Like, I enjoy the shrimp tacos, but if there was something better on the menu, I would never know. So in the end, it really wouldn't matter. And because of that, because most of the decisions we make on a daily basis, I mean, especially for what I do while working, writing software, honestly, it doesn't really matter what a method is called. It doesn't matter what order the parameters are in. It doesn't. So I just pick what seems best and go with it. It's always been fine. And because of that, the reason you want to just make a decision is to avoid the stress. What I talked about earlier. Just pick something that seems right and go with it. Avoid the stress. And if it's not the right decision, most of the time it's not going to matter, or it's easy to fix, or it's not difficult to live with and you'll probably forget about it, or ultimately there's just no real negative consequences. So that's why instead of succumbing to the stress, instead of succumbing to the choice crisis, I have to remind myself continuously to just make a decision. Any decision. It's right, it's wrong, you just gotta make a decision and keep moving forward. So just keep that in mind. Most of the decisions are gonna be that way. The most important thing is to just make the decision, which is what I have to do right now in terms of what I'm gonna do, because the evening is over, and that probably means that the decision is going to be head back to Miss Liberty and back to my place for a nice early-ish, as best I can, Betty Bye. I have exceeded my goal for the evening. I thought about going all the way to 10,000, but my knee is feeling pretty good, so I don't want to risk it, because tomorrow, yes, it's back to working out, maybe back to a park in the evening, because I will have to decide what to do for dinner. And I'm going to make that decision real quick. I already have 2 things in mind. I'm going to make that decision super, super quick. It is time to leave the Springs after some delicious shrimp tacos and a very delicious key lime pie and a good chat about making decisions and how important it is. But having done so, I have now introduced some choice crisis about what I'm going to do tomorrow. And that is why I am thankful for my problems.